You know, it's real crazy how fast things can change in the world of boxing. Teofimo has reacted in a brand new interview to Ryan Garcia's upset win over Devin Haney, who has long time kind of been a Teofimo Lopez rival himself. Teofimo is now calling for a potential fight with Ryan Garcia for September or December. And he says, and I quote, "It doesn't necessarily have to be at my weight class. It could be at a catch weight, so we don't have any problems moving forward." Now, if you have followed my channel for any length of time, you will know that virtually everything I said about the Ryan Garcia-Devin Haney fight came true before the fight. Didn't wait, said it before. The videos are up, the posts are up, don't delete. And from the beginning of Devin Haney, WBC champion, and Ryan Garcia fight, I told you guys on the channel and on my socials to pay special attention to the weight, because weight would play some part in this fight. You got this new generation in general who their walking around weight is nowhere near what they campaign at and the weight class in which they fight. So you got young, youthful guys whose bodies are flexible, no diddy, and pliable and able to make the sacrifices at a young age to cut weight and cut drastic weight in a short period of time and still be able to perform. Now weight in the Devin Haney fight with Ryan Garcia is a big conversation piece because Ryan missed weight by 3.2 pounds. A lot of people want to go back and forth about what caused it. Did Floyd Mayweather tell Ryan Garcia to come overweight? Yada, yada, yada. I'm not going down that road because I don't care. It doesn't really matter who told him or why he did it. The fact remains he missed weight. There was an executive decision and a renegotiation that was made, and Devin chose to, and his team, Bill Haney and Eddie Hearn and everyone on board, decided that Devin could still beat Ryan Garcia and to press on with the fight. So now when it doesn't work your way, you can't cry over spilled milk. Also, Teofimo talked about, as I mentioned earlier in this video, Ryan beating Devin Haney, saying, quote, "Everybody got psyched from what Ryan Garcia was doing. Ryan, he played it smart. He did what he had to do, or he did what he did. Congratulations to him. I'm actually happy things turned out this way that they did. With Ryan Garcia now in the mix, it just makes things much better." And I agree there, and I'll tell you why in a second. But it doesn't take away from what Haney has accomplished and what he's done in his time frame. He just wanted to cash out, and he sure did. Now, Teofimo is saying in this brand new interview with Punch Drunk Boxing, it is available on YouTube, he's saying that Devin, it doesn't take away from his accomplishments, like being undisputed in his time frame. Devin wanted to cash out, and he sure did. So I'm not quite sure what he means by that, but I did tell you that I believe the Haneys particularly were chasing Gervonta Davis, and instead of kind of building their own path to stay in their lane, they wanted to expedite things. So if that's what he's referring to, then I definitely agree. I think that they chose, like, Ryan just fought Gervonta Davis and got stopped and lost last year, right? Then he only has one fight with Oscar Duarte, and then the Haneys are trying to make the fight. So they flew too close to the sun. I think they wanted a big fight. They wanted to use Devin Haney's size, who rehydrates a lot, and his boxing ability, and they thought it was sweet. They thought they could just go in there with Ryan Garcia and outdo or outperform in some kind of way Gervonta Davis. But again, you got to run your race because you can't really outperform somebody with different tools. Like, oh, because Ivan Drago knocked this person out, that means I'm gonna knock him out. Unless you're 6'6" like Ivan Drago, unless you have Drago's combinations, unless you have his punching power. You see what I'm saying? It's all dependent on the individual and the tools that they possess. Tank did what he did with Ryan Garcia because he's Tank and he's shorter, and he was able to slip and duck under Ryan Garcia's left hook all night. Devin Haney, the very first hook that Ryan threw, Devin got caught with it and hurt in round one, literally a minute in. And I think that set a nasty tone, which you don't want to have in a big fight like this, where you're already behind the 8 ball. Your dad talked a bunch of crap and said that he's going to wipe Ryan Garcia off the map, and said that Ryan mama should have da-da-da-da and Ryan wouldn't be here, and said fight in the center of the ring if you're really about that life. They said all these things, so to get clipped and hurt where it's noticeable in the first round definitely wasn't a good thing for Devin Haney's performance. So it is what it is. Ryan beat him. As far as Teofimo and Ryan Garcia, of course, I would like to see the fight. Ryan Garcia is a star, and he's on his victory lap, and I can't be mad at that. I can't be mad at Ryan Garcia. Teofimo's right. He's saying what I said regarding Ryan's antics. At the end, winners win. If you win, people don't really care. They don't care what you said and what you did if you're able to secure the victory. The person that it affects, the pre-fight banter, is the person who talked crap. I remember Dominic Breazeale said that Wilder, he's skinny and he's a basketball player. He just said a lot of stuff. Like Wilder, he said, I would never lose to a guy like Wilder, and then Wilder knocked him out in the first round. So again, it's those situations where a person loses and loses bad, where all the audio sound bites and clips start to come back up of what you said pre and post fight. But regarding Ryan, all the antics paid off, so no one really cares. Now he's acting regular, doing podcasts, and the world is his oyster now. Teofimo Ryan is a great fight. I support the fight. Teo is a big dude for the weight class. Different fight though, because Teofimo, he might have better athleticism and protection. He definitely has better power. He looks to be more durable. So he would block or try to block the left hook almost better than Devin Haney did. Devin really had no defense for the hook, and it was kind of the story of the fight. And that's crazy thing about boxing, as I stated when I first started this video, is in the world of boxing, things change overnight. 1 minute, a couple years ago, people were saying Devin Haney was afraid of Teofimo, and Teofimo didn't really want smoke. And it didn't look like Teofimo wanted to fight Devin Haney. But then Teofimo loses to Kambosos, and people are like, man, that's a sad loss. And then Devin was on a great run, beating Lomachenko, beating Kambosos, the guy who beat Teo, and then beating Regis Prograis, and it looks on and popping for Devin Haney. And then Teofimo, he has some tough fights where it looks like he might be done, like not done, but he just doesn't look the same. Versus Sandor Martin, got dropped in the fight. Then he has an excellent performance with Josh Taylor. Jermaine Ortiz, I thought he lost that fight. That was after that. But, Teo's Teo. He didn't get cooked. Like, he didn't get knocked out by any of these guys, or it didn't look as bad as Devin Haney, right? Versus Ryan Garcia, versus anybody, Sandor Martin or anything. These were still Jermaine Ortiz, Sandor Martin. These are all competitive fights. So people went from believing in Devin Haney, like, yo, he'll beat Teofimo, to now I'm sure people are kind of wondering who would win, Devin Haney or Teofimo. And Ryan Garcia, who was kind of forgotten about in that whole Four Kings conversation, he just snags a big win versus Teofimo rival Devin Haney, and now he's on top of the world. So boxing is truly crazy, where in one moment the fans are riding with this guy A, then they're sleeping on guy B, and then guy C comes out of nowhere and beats guy A. So now guy B and C look like a fight. That's exactly what's happening here with Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia conversation. Ryan took his brand from lukewarm to hot, and Devin Haney went from hot to cold. Crazy stuff in the world of boxing.